Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video tutorial, I'm going to write simple basic code and we will try to run it. We will try to build it and also debug it, and some important tools which are available in Visual Studio for debugging purpose, especially for Microsoft Assembler point of view. Uh, this is the template code. I just want to write some simple basic code. For example, we have been doing the assembly language programming, the basic instruction. For example, move AX comma 24 hex, or move px comma 34 hex, and I want to just to run the code, and as well as how you can debug the code uh, in this environment. Okay, so first of all, these instructions will be invalid in this specific format because we are going to write the code for 32-bit format. Okay, so in 32-bit format, first thing first, uh, AX is as a 16-bit register, but for 32-bit, it should be EAX, okay? Extended AX. For example, BX, it will become what? EBX, extended BX. CX would become what? ECX, extended CX, okay? This is the first thing. And rest of the syntax will remain same. For example, move EAX, comma 5. And since I'm not mentioning hex here, it will be considered as a decimal. Okay, so this number will go as a decimal. You can write move AX, comma 6. Okay, or EBX, comma 7. Okay, move ECX, comma, for example, 12. Okay, remember that these values are in what? Decimal. Okay. Next thing, I want to create some breakpoints so that I can run the code line by line. So what I'm doing here, let me show you again. Just this line number 13, this, and then at this area, just press left click. You will see a red bubble. Red bubble indicates this is the first breaking point. You can create next breaking point. You can create the next breaking point. And there will be one instruction I will be using called NOP, no operation. Okay. So no. No operation performs nothing. It does not perform anything. It will just, your processor will consume one machine cycle, or it will waste one machine cycle by doing nothing. Okay. So I want to run these four instructions. Okay. Now, because I just want, so I want to run these instructions. So first of all, I have to build my code. If you go there in the tool, in the menu bar, build solution is there. Build solution. So in output window, you see that build is successful, and no errors. So my code was successfully built, and I want to run this code line by line. So I will start debugging. Okay, in menu bar, choose the debug, and then there is a start debugging. Okay. So this arrow indicate this line is about to execute. But remember, when we were practicing in emulator environment, EMU 8086 environment, we were writing the code for 16-bit processors. We can actually see those registers. So in debug environment, only in debug environment, if you do this in without debugging, you can't see your register. But in debug environment, click on debug, then there is a Windows. Okay, and then it says registers. Okay, so let me repeat again. In click on debug, you see Windows, provided that you are in debugging mode, and you will see that in the very last there is something called register. Okay, usually this is docked. Let me go to the usual format. Usually it will be docked here, but what I want to float it because it is more convenient for myself. So I keep it as floating window. And in this window, what you can see, EAX, which is a EX register, EBX register, ECX register, DX, SI, DI, SP, FL indicates this FL is for flag register. Okay. Remember, for these registers are same as what we have been doing in 16-bit programming, but E word, E letter is attached here just to show that they are 32-bit register. One thing more, probably you are noticing that your flags are also shown here. By default, these are not shown. So I have also make them visible. How you can make them visible? Just click the content of your flag register. Right click over here, you see flags. See, this is already checked. If I remove this checked, you see my flags are gone. So usually flag register is 32-bit register and their individual flags are not shown. But if you want to show the flags, individual flags, you can select this flag bit or flag content, right click on it, and in the very last you will see flags. Okay, just check it. You see that now overflow flag, parity flag, zero flag, and so on. The other flags are shown over here. Okay. Now, when I execute my code line by line, I can simply see the changes in these registers. So I'm going to execute these lines one by one. And how you can do it, you go to debug menu, and then you can use this option step into, which will execute this line only. There are other options like step over, step out, which are very important while you are executing. The breakpoints, and for my convenience, I've taken out these options over here. You can do in the settings easily yourself. So step into is the same as I want to just execute one line. So for example, I'm going to execute this line and this arrow indicate this line is going to execute. So I will just press step into. What will happen? This line will execute and this line says 5 will move into EX register. So if you check the content of EX register, these are basically this one. So after the execution of this line, this content will change to 5. Let's see if it is going to happen or not. So I'm executing this line and I'm doing what? Step into. See, now arrow is moved to the next line because that line is already executed and this line is the next one. So after the execution of this line, if we go and check, the content of AX register is changed, which is EAX equals to 5. Similarly, I can run the second line. I have to just press step into, and this line is basically moving C7 into BX register. So if you see BX register, this is this BX register, it has become 7. Similarly, the next line, which is now going to execute, is ECX comma 12. Which means 12 will go to ECX and current content of ECX is this one. Remember? So I'm gonna step into, I will press step into, see this value is actually, this line is actually executed. So 12 would have moved into ECX. But if we see here we see the content C, which is the hexadecimal equivalent of this 12, right? So this is how you can execute any assembly language in 32-bit format, and you can line by line using the debugging mode, and you can also display the content of various registers. I hope you have understood this debugging and simple execution of assembly language program in 32-bit format using this Visual Studio and using, of course, Irvine Library. Still, if you have any question, you can post your queries in comment section. Thank you so much for listening.